Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Blades of Exile. I have finished the second of the 3 official scenarios, and now it is high time for me to start the third. But first, I move the window around a little bit to match my recording area. So I could hit start scenario, but I can't until I have a party loaded. So I need to load a game or make a new party. Fortunately, I do have a party ready to go here. Our group of 6, now with new names and looks, ready to complete missions with the power of friendship, and also fireballs. So at last I can play the Za-Khazi Run, hard difficulty. A fortress is under siege, and only you can get them the weapons they need to survive. You have 20 days to find your way through the nastiest caves in Exile, or all will be lost. So I have seen a playthrough of this scenario before, but I've never played it myself, so this should be a fun experience. The history of Exile is a history of wars, large and small, against humans and bizarre creatures. They were all long and bloody, and all fought purely for survival. Not all exiles returned to the surface when the Empire gave them a country of their own. Some stayed in the caves and tunnels they had adopted as their homes. Alas, a new threat awaited them. The Za-Khazi, the strange subterranean lizardmen that fought Exile for much of their existence, have attacked again. Several huge, barbarian tribes of the creatures are attacking Exile, and have had great success against its troops. Now all in Exile watch the siege at Fort Cavalier, the key defensive outpost between the Sliths and the heart of Exile. The fort has held out for months, but it grows weaker with every passing day. You have been contacted by the people of Exile, and sent here with news of a highly lucrative mission, having something to do with Fort Cavalier. You have just arrived at Fort Goodling to meet with Commander Vale. She will tell you what your mission is, should you choose to accept it. All you know is that the stakes are incredibly high, and time is of the essence. And we start in a bedroom. The chambers you've been provided are quite comfortable, and the beds are empty and waiting for you. You can spend a few of your precious hours resting, if you want. That will not be necessary. There is nothing in the chest. I'm assuming that this room is a safe place to leave my stuff. Let me see if I have anything that I feel like leaving behind. Ooh, yeah, I got real good stuff from the last scenario. Prismatic armor offers full protection, which I believe means it is resistant to basically everything. So yeah, I need to remember what my setup is here. Dash and AJ are my frontline fighters. Pinkamina's a rogue. Twily is the mage. Rarity might be my utility mage, and Flutters is the healer, I think. Okay, yeah, Twily is mage. No, I got that wrong. Rarity is my healer. And Flutters is my backup caster. I'm sure I had plenty good reasoning for that setup when I created it however many weeks ago. But yeah, Dash has the flaming sword and also crossbow. AJ has bronze halberd, magic sling, decent armors. Pinkamina has one fine lockpick, dual-wielding a steel broadsword and the poisonous Korthrax. Twily has some decent throwing weapons. Oh, I know, I can drop the silver ring of weight in the chest and see if it stays there. Because that is cursed, and I don't care if it disappears. Rarity, you've got bronze flail bashing type weapon, ice shield. And Flutters is carrying around all of the alchemy ingredients. Okay, prismatic armor does indeed have some weight and encumbrance, so I probably don't want to give it to Flutters. I think I will give it to Rarity. I can't, because Rarity's carrying too much. Maybe I could give it to Pinkamena. Pinky, what have you got? You've got Magic Studded. Okay. But then Pinkamena gets, multiple high-end artifacts, which is sort of in character for her. I think I did set up everyone with magic studded or magic robes, at minimum. Well, AJ has an iron breastplate, but breastplate tends to be stronger than studded. That said... Welcome to the exciting world of inventory management! Okay, iron breastplate, defense 7, bonus 2... Defense 3, bonus 5. So some drop in defense, but no encumbrance is always nice. Also, Runed Helm. Who should get that? It's got no encumbrance. Really? Well, maybe I will get the chance to level up some caster strength. Also, I should pull up my map. Also, wizard! You look important. Celatine. You recognize the robes this man wears. They are the traditional robes of the Triad of the Tower of Magi, the center of magical learning in Exile. So, questions. How long after the end of Exile 3 does this take place? And is the Tower of Magi still standing? Or are they working on a new tower? I am Celatine, of the Triad. I am of the Triad of the Tower of Magi. I have come here to render assistance in the fight. The 3 greatest mages in Exile go to the Tower of the Magi to watch over the magic of our land and provide control and assistance. The center of magical learning in Exile. Recently destroyed, it has been rebuilt to be stronger and lovelier than ever. We hope it doesn't get blown up again anytime soon. Okay, so that answers that question. And I'm pretty sure in Avernum 4, the Tower of Magi is, not so much stronger and lovelier than before, so probably it got blown up again. We of the Tower of Magi have watched the fight for Fort Cavalier with great concern. To protect the fort, we have created a package to be taken to them to aid in their defense. We believe the bundle of wands we have created will be of great assistance. Before I can give you the wands, you should speak with Commander Yale. Oh, I read that as Vale in the description. Oops. I am sorry, I can only tell of that to one who has actually been given the mission. Okay, so I will need to find you again later. I'm going to assume that anyone lying in bed is probably not that important. This seems an odd place for an anvil. And as usual, can't talk to the guards. Sadness. imagine there's nothing in all of these chests. Oh, I'm wrong. Okay. It isn't even marked as not mine. Okay, so Fort Goodling has a bunch of soldiers. Hello. You're a Slith. A friendly Slith. You meet a Slith warrior, sitting alone and shivering in its tiny room. I am called As. It is nice to receive a visitor. I am a soldier in Exile's army. Now, though, I wait here, ignored. Many Slith Za-Khazi have worked well with Exile for years, and our people have had some peace, so I joined Exile's army. They tell me to stay here and not go out. They say it is so I am not mistaken for enemy Sliths, but I know it is because they think I will betray them. I hear what they say, but it is wrong. I am loyal. I would give my life for my army. I hopes to finally be given the chance. When I joined Exile's army, I thought to fight now that our peoples are working together. But then other Sliths attack, and I become distrusted. Oh man, that sucks to be a loyal soldier and distrusted because of your race. Also, potential empty corner that I can't reach because there's someone else there. Oh, okay, it's just full of corner of the fort. I thought that was a door, but I was wrong. Courtyard. Full of presumably non-talking statues. Dining hall. Rather large one, too. That's some interesting room composition there. Okay, you are LP Blades 3. Oh, come on now. There. So either this will take me out of the scenario, or it will say something about, are you sure you want to leave before getting the mission? You return to the gates of Fort Goodling. Looking through them, you can see the Exile countryside beyond. It would be easy for you to leave, rejecting this mission in favor of safer adventures elsewhere. Do you go? You leave Fort Goodling. This mission will just have to be done by someone else. Yeah, that's, not the way I want to end that. Supply Room A. Exciting. I probably don't need to do a whole lot of looting in this fort. I'm pretty well kitted out as is. Supply Room B. This supply room contains a variety of useful goods, arranged in neat rows. A note on the wall reads, "Supplies reserved for Fort Cavalier Rescue Team." You think that's you? There is an odd chill in the air. Is it refrigerated? And more importantly, is it refrigerated by something nasty? Oh, hello. Shadowy figure. A small, insubstantial shade lurks in the back of this dusty storeroom. It's shaped like a humanoid, but its face is completely featureless. Are you a ghost or are you a construct? I have no name. I have a message for you. I have been sent by Morog, master of the Za-Khazi Run. He sent me to say that he wishes you peace. You may enter the citadel of Morog without fear. He wishes, in his might and wisdom, to deal with you. That is all. The shade abruptly disappears. Okay, I'm going to assume construct. So, unidentified potions and a wand. Pretty decent supply of gold and food, very important. Okay, Pinkamena, I think you have the least problem of too much stuff. And I'm sure I'll be able to get my spell points back just by walking around the fort. So what do we get? What do we get? Looks like healing potions. Perhaps healing and energy. And a wand of fireballs. Those can still be surprisingly useful. Fort Library. You find an interesting book titled The History of Exile Following the Return. A summary. Exile was formed when the Empire, deciding to rid itself of the annoying people on its surface, sent them through a one-way teleporter into the caves far below the surface of the world. After Exile made peace with the Empire, all of its citizens who cared to return to the surface were given land in southeast Valorum. Many of the exiles decided to return. Surprisingly, many decided to stay in the caves instead. The exiles who had made comfortable lives below ground, or who were unable to trust or obey the Empire, stayed in their caves, where they continued to tame the underworld and build ever grander subterranean cities. The exiles have been successful, and to some extent, even prosperous. Massive teleporters carry materials from the underworld to the surface, and the goods necessary for survival in the caves are sent down in return. Although the perils of being an exile are as great as ever, the future of these strange, pale people has never been brighter. At least until the Sliths attacked. Again. Another interesting book, a summary of the Second Slith War so far. A summary. Exile contains cities of both friendly, civilized Slith Zerakai and evil barbarian Slith Zerakai, also called Sliths, a pejorative term. Exile has fought one war with barbarian Sliths already, which ended with the assassination of their king, Sisthis. The evil Sliths, following their defeat, fled to lower caverns as yet unreached by exiles, where they united, trained, reproduced, and built themselves up into a united, fearsome army. There, they waited with uncharacteristic patience. When half of the exile population returned to the surface, the Slith's opportunity presented itself. They attacked through the waterways. They moved swiftly and with the advantage of surprise, butchering many exile settlers. Now the Sliths stand poised to destroy the last forts separating them from the Great Cave and the capital of Exile. Fortunately, we still have several options to explore to defeat them. The rest of the book has been censored. The pages have been torn out of the book. We do not have that level of security clearance right now. Like most of Exile's forts, this one has a wizard in residence, a powerful mage available to deal with problems large and small. This ancient sage is currently poring over pictures of unicorns. I am Halgas. Greetings to you. His voice is old and tired. I am the wizard in residence for Fort Goodling. I spend most of my time watching the river to the north. I also teach spells to those few who would benefit. Ooh, goody. Ah, yes. That is where you will be going, is it not? That area is called the Za-Khazi Run. It is named after an ancient Vanatai pillar found in it, which simply said, Za-Khazi. We don't know what it means. At any rate, it's a wild and unsettled area. Exile has settled most of the caves available to it. The Za-Khazi Run, however, has not been touched. This is because it is filled with many powerful creatures, both malevolent and benign, who have made it their home. Demons, undead, rogue sliths. It is even rumored that a dragon lives in the run, though we know little in truth. Some have said that the rarest of creatures, the unicorn, may be found in the run. The good unicorns, that is, not the small, grey, rat-like pest unicorns. If you meet them, be sure to greet them. They may give you aid. Interesting, so there are different kinds of unicorns. Yes, the Vanatai, the strange alien creatures who we fought against, then beside, then against, and now have an uneasy truce with. They once settled the Za-Khazi Run, and their ruins may be found there. Ooh, Vanatai ruins, intriguing. Anyway, spells! Okay, so we've got the level 4 spells, which I already have. Level 5 spells, which I have. Ooh, and some rather good level 6 spells, like Flight! Maybe I shouldn't have grabbed Mind Duel, that was really expensive. But I do have some smoky crystals, so maybe I'll get the chance to use them! Okay, Paralyze and Kill. Do I have those? Group Fear, I am almost certainly not going to use. Okay, and that marks the ones that I already have. Just because I'm not going to use it doesn't mean I don't want to have it. Especially at very reasonable prices. Okay, kinda wanted to see if you would have anything to say about renegade sliths. Or enemy sliths. Ha! Of course, there have, at various times, been 5 dragons living in exile. Not all of their locations are known, so it is possible. Also, some of them tend to move around a bit. Commander's Chambers. Commander's Bedchambers. Pinky, what are you doing? Well, Commander has some gold, robes, and shirt stashed here. And a broadsword. Even if I could identify it, it's probably not anything I want in particular. Commander Yale. The commander of Fort Goodling looks like she's wearing her armor more for show than out of a desire to fight hand-to-hand. The books on tactics that surround her shows what her true focus is. She stands to shake your hand. Her movements are quick and precise. I am Commander Yale. How can I help you, adventurers? I command this fortress in the battle against the Sliths. That is why I asked your government to send you here. Assuming that we are not from Exile to begin with. We have a critical mission for you. Fort Goodling is the center of operations for troops all throughout this area. I direct their movements and plan raids on the Sliths. Of course, our job is easy compared to what's happening in Fort Cavalier. She frowns. The Sliths are a far worse foe now than they were in the First War. Several of their barbarian tribes have united, something we never expected to happen, and their magical skills are as sharp as ever. There's some useful books on this in the library. You may want to take a look. Already did, ma'am. Fort Cavalier is the center of Exile operations in the north. If it fell to the Sliths, it would be a catastrophe. Fort Cavalier is the last defense between the Slith forces and the rich central caves of Exile. If it falls, Exile will have serious difficulties. As you may have heard, Fort Cavalier, about 250 miles to the north, has been under siege for months. The Sliths keep putting on the pressure, and unless they receive support, the fort will fall very soon. Very, very soon. This will be a disaster. We need to carry a package to them to help in their defense. The perils are great, as are the rewards. Do you accept? I'm afraid I can't tell you of that until you accept the mission. Okay. Mission accepted. She looks pleased. Excellent. Now I can tell you other things about the mission. Fort Cavalier is surrounded on 3 sides by Sliths, but there is a less guarded approach. You will need to pick up a vital package and take it downriver. This fort can give you valuable supplies and assistance. Note, however, the time is very short. You must hurry. Before you pick up the package and take the boat north into the Za-Khazi Run, you should be sure to speak with Halgas, Ocampo, and Meyer. Halgas is our resident wizard. He can teach you a lot of different spells. Ocampo is a priest, who worked for some time as a teacher. She can teach you new spells, and I believe she knows some alchemy as well. Meyer is our supply master. Supplies are tight in the fort, but he has set aside some equipment to help you in the run. And about the package, go speak with Celatine. He should be in the common room right now, or wandering around. He will give you the package to take to the fort. Ha. Our recon tells us that Fort Cavalier may fall in as few as 3 weeks. Even a small delay in your delivery of the package could mean disaster. That is not a lot of days. Oh, Celatine. I was just told to speak to you again. Also, some of these NPC character portraits, I think got reused in some versions of Realms. Okay, so about that package. We of the Tower are concerned by this small war and decided to provide aid. For that reason, we have combined our magical powers to create a bundle of powerful wands to be carried to the besieged fort. Celatine hands you a bundle of what feels like 12 sticks wrapped in canvas and sealed shut with a leather band with gold runes. These are the wands. To help you resist the temptation to open the bundle early, the magical bands will keep the bundle from being opened until you reach Fort Cavalier. Aw, man. You have already received the wands. You should go now. I understand that the boats to the Za-Khazi Run are in the north half of the fort. And a cat has appeared in the recording closet with me. It is Theo, who tends to be a little bit more of a noisy nuisance. And now in my special items I have a bundle of wands. This is the magically sealed bundle of wands which was given to you in Fort Goodling. You are to take it to Fort Cavalier within 21 days. And presumably they are more powerful than just wands of fireballs, or even wands of kill spells. These are the Fort Goodling docks. 2 long, low rowboats are moored here, ready for you to take one of them north to Fort Cavalier. Guards stand at the river, watching the water carefully. Slith Za-Khazi can attack the forts by surprise by approaching underwater. Guards need to be placed anywhere wet. Yep, those are boats all right. And you are not a guard. But you... wait. Yes, he is there. Let me just click the correct pixel. Meyer! You meet one of Exile's bold quartermasters, constantly fighting the eternal battle to keep soldiers from getting all the supplies they want. He looks tired. I'm Meyer. You need supplies, right? What does anyone ever want? He rolls his eyes to the heavens. Yeah, supplies. Commander Yale sent me word that I need to give you things. He sighs dramatically. Oh well, things aren't quite as tight as they were when we were fighting the Empire. Ah, how things change. Once the Empire was our greatest foes. Now most of our people go up there to live with them, leaving the rest to struggle. I could have gone up there to live a cushy life in Valorum, sure. But in the Empire War I lost a brother, and many friends to their troops. No way I go live with the surface scum. Exile is my home, and I'll fight and die for it. There are things for you in Supply Room B. You can get to it through the passage around the fort. Help yourself. Of course, we always need new stuff. You can have me identify your things, and sell them to me too. Ooh, cool. I will sell this scroll of poison. Possibly the fire orb necklace? Basic powder is occasionally useful. Excellent, we're in dire need of fresh goods. What do you got? Okay, so that's his purpose. Oh, hello, you must be the priest. Alas, I cannot interact with the altar. You meet Fort Goodling's priest. She wears 3 holy symbols, has over a dozen potions in flasks at her belt, and carries a mace in her hand. Nobody is currently attacking, but if someone does, she sure will be ready. She puts the mace aside for now, but you notice she is careful not to stray far from it. I am Ocampo. Well, as you can see, I am waiting for an attack. While waiting, I often provide healing, spells, and recipes. The Sliths have not attacked here for over a month. Their forces are concentrated at Fort Cavalier. However, this only means that a surprise attack grows more likely every day. The delay only makes us more alert, not less. I can buy alchemical recipes, hooray! Including grey mold salve. Well, I have much less gold than I did when I started this scenario, so I will hold off on alchemy for now. And see what spells I can buy for rarity. Or what spells I even want to buy. D-Stone is good to have. Okay, Flame Strike, Mass Sanctuary. Heal All and Revive, both very good to have. Hyperactivity is good if I want my entire party to resist sleep. Summon Guardian is good if you really want to summon an invisible ally that you will almost certainly hit with area of attack spells. Mass Charm could be fun. Protective Circle casts a lot of fields around yourself, and pestilence will spread disease. Again, probably not going to use this, but could be fun to have. I think I've gotten some pretty good mileage out of the healing potion recipe that I already have. Never going to use poison. Potion of Clarity is potentially useful. Weak power. Okay, and now I'm kind of broke. You are not a guard. Who are you? Edward, Fort Goodling's trainer. I thought you might be a trainer. Fort Goodling's trainer nods to you in greeting. His face bears a faint lattice of pale scars. You hope that isn't part of the training. I am Edward the trainer. I hear you are to help in the fight against the Sliths. Allow me to provide training, if you wish it. I do wish. I do wish that I could afford more training. Guess who blew all their budget on spells? Though my casters don't have nearly as many points to spend to begin with. I'll give them all one more point in strength, just for more carrying of stuff. Also, unlike the other scenarios, I'm not so sure I'll be able to return to Fort Goodling after I leave, which is probably why everything here is so cheap. You're a soldier, but you don't have the standard soldier graphic. Fort Goodling has several captains, bold fighters who are in charge of orchestrating the movements of the other soldiers. This particular captain has a sloping brow, a crooked nose, and what looks like 200 pounds of solid muscle. I'm Captain Verg. When he speaks, you notice he's missing quite a few teeth. I keep my troops watching the whole Za-Khazi Run thing. Gotta watch it close. There's all sort of nasty stuff out there. Nasty. Not just Sliths either. Magic creatures. Sliths I can handle. They're made of meat like us. Hit them with an axe, and they die good enough. The magic in the run, though, I don't know about that. I hear rumors. Hordes of demons. A demon lord, 30 feet tall. Dragons. Giant pools of living acid. Monkeys. A witch army. All that's out there and more. I don't envy you for going out there, that's for sure. Sounds delightful. Okay, 90% sure that if I see the captain graphic again, it's just going to be Verg. Fort Blacksmith, and some more storage stuff. Someday I'm going to drop some more points in item lore so that I can identify things on site. Well, that is Fort Goodling, but what lies beyond? We'll have to find out in the next episode. Until then, have a good one and take care, everybody.